Hello, today is March 26th, 2020. I'm going to read on Lindsey Graham. Not because I like Lindsey Graham. Is there anyone who likes Lindsey Graham? Well, that's kind of mean. Like I care. Okay. Boy, this is some stiff cardstock on this. I'm starting to already kind of wear at the edges, but this is the Ostara deck. Beautiful deck. I'll also do some videos where, because of how beautiful the art can be with different decks, I'm planning on doing some videos where we just do some, not necessarily unboxing, but where it is unboxing in the sense of just sharing what various decks look like. And I'm not going to sit there and go through 78 cards with you, so that would be a bit much to expect anybody to sit through. But what I will do is I will pick out some of my favorites from the various decks and share them with you in another reading, because although my focus is going to be and is on crime-based tarot, specifically for the people that get the least attention in media. That's the main bulk of this channel. But I'll also mix it up a bit with some things here and there. And feel free to ask any questions that you might be curious about, whether it's UFOs or what, just feel free. And I'll consider it, I'll look at it, and I'll reply to you in the comments. Because of my bed rest, I am not taking private readings right now. I'm keeping the clients that I do have, but I've had to close down accepting new clients. But if you look in my Great Readers playlist, there's a number of wonderful readers here in the YouTube community that you can see about getting a reading with. For those of you that I do already read for, I will keep reading for you, because to be honest, I have a small number of regular clients, but that fits me perfectly right now, so I don't want that to change. Oh boy, Miss Lindsey. Well, I think we all have a pretty good idea that he changed his song and dance with regard to Trump early on. There must be something really, him and Pool Boys, I don't know, something like that. Now, I'm just saying that because I gotta think that something is had on him, because he went from being very vocally against Trump to becoming this very demented cheerleader. And you don't need be a rocket scientist to figure out that there's why the change and the dramatic change. It's like he's begging you just not to go. I should do a reading to see what it is. Yeah, screw it. That guy is making people suffer with his support of Trump. So I'll take my gloves off. I'll box him with the tarot. What is it? What is it that has caused Lindsey Graham to become some demented cheerleader for Trump. Spirit of the Tarot, Spirit of the Ancestors, please guide me to interpret accurately this reading. These cards, I love them. I'm glad that they actually are this stiff. I don't mind shuffling them like this, but I have small hands and they are really really stiff. So Spirit of the Tarot, Ancestors, please help. What can you share with the public? What can I share with the public here? Please guide my interpretation. Help me to see. Sometimes things change when you're. What you see with my readings is how I read, and sometimes I initially think something's initially some way, and then once you get more cards out, you go, oh, that's what that is. It's not as I was initially saying. You see how it evolves. So what you're seeing is how you read the tarot. I try to give you a little instruction. I used to teach tarot for a while here in the small town which I'm currently located, but I'm looking to leave for an even smaller town if I can have it my way. I want to be more remote. Anyhow, I taught tarot when I was much younger, when I was in my 30s. Late 20s and early 30s. I'm in my 50s now, so. And I certainly plan on doing something like that here too. I want to make affordable lessons for people. That's the one thing that really put me off of some people that read, was the, in my opinion, exploitive costs that they were charging. And I just don't think that's, well, not. I'll leave that. I couldn't do that and feel all right about it. I don't think that's right. But I will do a tarot class here also. I plan on doing that. Just have to get better. My pressure sores are healing, but I've got another little one on my right side now from trying to take care of my left. So yeah, I'm sitting like this only for a little while, and then I have to pretty much lay. Okay. I'm not asking for sympathy, letting you know that. I'm just letting you know that I can't get to doing the classes until I have a longer time that I can sit up so I can properly do the videos. And then for anybody that wants to, I don't know, I'll look into that join thing and I'll see how expensive that is for people. Anyway, I don't want to make it, I don't want to undercut myself, but I also don't want to overcharge people either. And I want to be able to give a quality, whatever it is, class that I can teach you what I know, and you can take it from there. And I want to make sure it's reasonable. Okay, but we're talking about Lindsey, Leningrad Lindsey, bootlicking Lindsey. Why did he change his tune with Trump? How come he became such a fan of Trump? What is it that Lindsey Graham why is he so clearly. What's the change? Why the change, Lindsey? Why the change? Okay, now I'm going to just kind of sink him into the card here in the question. What is it? Why did Lindsey Graham change to support and become this demented cheerleader for Trump? What is it? Why? Please make it clear to me, because I don't have context exactly of this guy's life. Okay. Come on, Tarot, please spill the tea. What is it that Lindsey ended up changing his song and dance to support someone that he said he thought was a shyster, basically? Why? Okay. Why did he do it? Okay, well, what covers him is the Ace of Cups. It is something highly emotional. A lot of emotion behind it. And it's the 10 of Wands crosses him. He is, excuse me. It's nice and sunny outside. I wish I could go sit out there. I tell you, if I could get somebody to roll my bed outside, be a happy camper. Anyway, well, this is something obviously very emotional for him, and he's very stressed about about it to the nth degree. Okay, well, that doesn't surprise us terribly, eh? So I'm going to see if I can. This is the Ace of Cups, not the 2. Okay, wait. Sorry. No, I won't do this too long. So being the Ace, despite the pictorial, the depiction here, which to me looks much more like the 2 of Cups than an Ace, but it is an Ace. It's a 1. Gotta learn where the camera and the monitor. Okay, see, right. Oh, opposite of what I want to do. So right there, Ace. So that tells us little tarot lesson. I don't know. Maybe I can just incorporate a little mini tarot lesson into my readings. All right, that's what I try to do anyway. But I still will do classes. Don't worry. For those of you that care, if you're interested, let me know in the description box. Not the description, the comment box. Okay, so here he's crossed by the 10 of Wands. Okay, and that 10 of Wands is something in this case where I think he is very much. I think that if it were to come out, because this is what crosses him, he would just have a breakdown. Really, I believe he's already kind of having one, but compared to whatever it is that he's so afraid that we'll find out about, which I was hoping, but I guess the other cards, and I'll tell you what, they don't reveal enough. I'm going to go in at it for a second reading, because I want to know. Normally I would not do that, but I feel that, you know what, in his case, we have every right to know. It's Wheel of Fortune. It's based on something that happened in his past, and it was something set in motion by Okay, this is something that happened with events happening the way that things came to be. And I would say that with the Wheel of Fortune that it is probably karmic. So it probably will come out. Okay. Crowned. He would want to leave if it did. I think he would leave from public. He's Six of Cups. I'm sorry, Six of Swords. It has to do with abandonment. Something, or perhaps, since this is what crowns him, perhaps he feels that he would have to abandon office. I have news for him. He's going to have to abandon office anyway. So the what he's doing is only making himself look twice as bad. We really won't have any sympathy for him given what he's caused the public to suffer with his butt kissing Trump cheerleading craziness he does. Oh, I'm so. Let's see. As you can see, he's going to be wanting to abandon post. Or maybe it actually has something to do with him having now abandoned something. Now, this is where I'm going to expect to see it. Because the Wheel of Fortune says something in the past, doesn't always mean past, but it's, in this case, I do think it is something that happened. Oh, that's just strange. That is the Seven of Wands, where he feels very defensive. Very defensive. Well, I'll meditate on that more, and you can bet your sweet bippy I'm gonna be looking with some clarifiers with my Lenormand, my favorite Lenormand deck, the Enchanted Woods. Now, we'll look at that. It is a secret. It has been kept from public. It's like, no kidding, that's why I'm looking, tarot. Sometimes a tarot says, I'm going to tell you what you already know. Okay. Now, I do feel we're tracking with him. I do feel that though these cards seem subtle, there's a bit more out of them than I'm presently pulling through. This Seven of Wands in this deck is, I feel like, a bit of travel. I'm getting a bit of travel now with the Wheel of Fortune also. Travel. Okay, so whatever this is, it deals with other places he's been to or travel. I don't know if Lindsey frequents Thailand or any place like that, but I would say this is an overseas, deals with something overseas, something that occurred at some point to him during perhaps business travel. It could be that he uses escorts, and I don't know why he would find that so horrible unless he's picking up what they call rent boys or something like that. Because the reason I say that is because I feel like I'm not getting like anything here that indicates, hey, this is really heavily sexual. But that doesn't mean it couldn't come out with other cards. But what I am getting with this Seven of Wands, and what I do get with the Seven of Wands just generally, is that it typically is a card that talks about a large area, sometimes for me, of the a considerable number. Like you come a long way, either figuratively or literally. You've done a lot of traveling. There's been a lot of places around the world. So that's a consideration. And he is at the challenge for him is that he's constantly now in a state of great stress with that 10 crossing him. And I think he's drinking, okay, too. I really do. I feel like Lindsey spends most evenings with the liquor cabinet as his company. Honestly, I feel like it, because he looks disheveled. Is it just me, or did any of you notice that when I do see him now? I have stuck primarily from my own sanity and emotional well-being to reading the news, but when I do catch a little bit of a video, sometimes I catch a bit of a video on YouTube if I want to follow a certain story or check into it, so that I'm not listening through a really stress-induced pile of news that gets rehashed. What I do see with him, and hear of recently, is he just looks disheveled. He just looks to me like a little bit not so put together. He doesn't feel grounded, well grounded. And he doesn't look to me like he should look. There's just something off. Okay, so I'm going to say, so far, it has to do with travel and then maybe a number of different locations. This is something that I think Lindsey likes to drink. Maybe he likes to drink when he goes to certain places and do certain things that are not legal here. I cannot think why else. Now, somebody knows this secret. This is in this with the High Priestess, I feel like. Certainly being blackmailed, I think. No big surprise there. There's a Queen of Wands that he's thinking of. That's in his consciousness. Now, I don't know if this is someone that, like Nancy Pelosi kicking his ass, or if this is another person maybe connected to whatever he does when he does this business travel. I'm pulling extra cards on that, you know it. Or if this is maybe somebody that helps him, or that a woman that knows about it. But it could also be he has a great deal of stress that this is something that will get exposed, and that if Nancy finds it, we have a visitor who's trying to figure out how to get her way to me here. It's cats in the tarot, people. I need to make sure I leave a little spot for my bear. Bear, I've got my tripod here. Did you want to Did you want to try to come over here? You want to try to come over and sit with me? Okay, how about there? Do you want to? All right. You sit right there, boo-boo. I love you. Aww. Okay, you're going to sit right behind my, because it's warm. Okay, so in his environment, sorry, I'm a cat person. If you don't like that, maybe find another place. He has the Three of Pentacles in his environment. So this, oh gosh, the first I got the word ring. There's a ring of people that he does certain things with. I think they all have a common interest. It's a ring. And I feel like there's certain places that they go. It definitely involves other people. And I'm going to say, if it is a small group, it could be two others in government, or two other friends of his in some capacity. But I get government for some reason. And I think he may have been also, there could be film of him. That just came to me. And maybe there's more than one maybe there's more than one film. That also occurs to me out there that someone has. Gotten hold of. Because maybe they let him know. Maybe because when when Putin's buddies hacked the DNC, they didn't just hack the DNC, they also hacked the RNC. Trust. Maybe he was reminded that certain things about him were known, or they had proof of compromise in some way. In his hopes and fears is the 10 of, oh, but it's reversed. Interesting, because I don't usually have reversed cards. Is the 10 of Pentacles reversed. That's a loss. He's hoping for or fears some sort of a loss. Of material wealth. Could also be, if it isn't sexual activity, it could be money activity. Right? That overseas accounts or something along those lines, different shell accounts. Boom, boom, boom. Maybe something like that. And maybe he fears losing all that money. Because it would be a lot of money. It would be a hell of a lot of money with that 10 card. That 10 of coins. That's a lot of coins, Lindsay. And I meant that to sound really nasally. Final end result. Dun, dun, dun. Is the 9 of Cups. A lot of cups here. The only concern, frankly, I have for him as a, if I thought that he was a decent person, would be to say, look, if you're drinking too much right now, it's going to go up. Normally, the Nine of Cups is a lovely card to get. But in his case, it may not be, oh, relief, everything's fine. I think it could be more like, oh, crap. Um, I think I'll drink myself into a stupor. The High Priestess is in the near future, so I'm actually feeling like this could get exposed in the very near future. In the very near future. And it definitely has something to do with a number of other places, a number of different places. And I feel like he's in a with a group of people that have perhaps invested or take part in whatever that activity is. He certainly doesn't want Pelosi. His eye is on her, and it could be that he's concerned that she's going to say something. If, of course she would if she found out. All right, let's pull a few extra cards. Hanged Man. Well, there's a sacrifice. Oh, it's drink. Four of Cups. No bueno for you, Lindsay. I think his secret will be revealed, and the tarot for right now isn't showing me but a very basic sense of things. I'm not getting that there's money involved. There's over a number of different places involved. There is some sort of a small ring of people that operate this or are connected to wherever this is, and all these different places. There's others involved. He has a fear of a loss of, I think, not only money, but a fear of a loss of status. Because, as I've said before, when we look at the suits, this is an earthly suit. This deals with your career. This deals with money. This deals with health, the earthly realm. And so it may not just be affecting him, but it might affect a couple of others as well that are in the same boat as Lindsay. Okay. Or it's a small number of people, rather. And that's what I was really talking about at the last point. A small number of people. You'd think I'd get this right. Okay. So it's like a small number of people that it almost looks to me like they're like, oh, I could do this and I could multiply this. I could do more than one. I almost don't want to know. Now, I just feel, okay, like it has to do with finances or there is money involved elsewhere. And it's kind of a secret thing that I think that would make him look absolutely like he is. greedy. But interestingly enough, he'll lose. He's going to lose this. Anyway, I guess he's just holding on as long as he can, because this will put him out of office for certain. And I don't think just him, quite possibly. I still feel like there might be that he's not the only one involved in whatever this is. It does look like there is a financial element to it in various places, and he's seeking to protect and keep that quiet. But I see him in the near future. I think the information's going to come out. And I think that information will cross a certain lady's desk. Look at the eyes on the lion of this queen. It's like, I'm missing nothing. I see, I'm scanning, like a laser. And I think in the environment, when I look at that, also I think, and hey, by the way, feel free to share your ideas with me in the comments. I feel like this is, I don't know if it's investments or something that are not on the up and up, but I feel like there's a lot of money in there, and it is clearly, it would clearly indicate that he's been up to illegalities, and he's afraid to lose his lifetime job that he's had there. And I mean, like, his reputation, I mean, it would undo him. But I think it's going to undo him, and he will have to leave. And I think he will have a tendency to drink a lot more. I do not think this is Lindsey in a happy state. I see him as somebody that's going to get thrown under the bus, and due to his lack of due to him being exposed, he's unfortunately going to become, I think, more and more drunk. I don't know how else to put it. More and more of a drinker and withdrawn. He's going to try to withdraw from society into several bottles probably. I'm going to pull a few more cards. I'm going to use this time the Enchanted Woods deck of the Lenormand. I'm going to make sure I put these in upright. Okay. Let's see if we can get a little more. It is a beautiful day here. And I hope that no matter where you are, that you make it a beautiful day for yourself. And hopefully you have a patio or a balcony or a nice window that you can look out. Or a nice front porch. If I didn't have bed rest, I'd be out there on that front porch. Okay, Lindsey. What is it that Lindsey is hiding that caused him to support Trump to this ridiculous degree? What is it? What is it that Lindsey's sitting on like a... Let me make sure. Okay. This deck doesn't have as many cards, so it always feels like initially when I switch, like, am I missing some? Are they still in the box? That wants to slide, so I'm going to set it there. Okay. Lindsey. What's his secret? What's Lindsey's big secret that he is absolutely nuts about Trump for? That he's kissing Trump's butt for? What is it? Lindsey Graham, please, spirits of divination and of my ancestors, the ancestors of the earth, please help me to read this clearly, to understand correctly. Lindsey Graham, what's he hiding? And now I do this every time. Okay, what is Lindsey Graham hiding? What is it that has made him become such a champ for Trump? Okay, the clouds deal with something that is being obscured. It is purpose, in my opinion, there's a purposeful trying to obscure the details, obscure some fact, trying to keep things kind of covered up, wants to keep that quiet. It's there. There's something to me that it indicates the information is so available, perhaps people just don't know to look for it. And I would say it has something to do with other places, different places overseas, elsewhere, maybe investing in certain, I don't know, ways that he shouldn't be. Maybe that's it. And he gets the significator. Okay, now the thing with this significator is that it usually is indicative of certainly someone who may not be cis, stereotypical straight cis individual. This can be somebody sometimes who's transgender. It can be somebody who is very fluid in their sexual identity. And it can also indicate that they may have a different type, a way of identifying. I mean, in this day and age, I don't think anybody would be surprised, and it should not be made it should not be scandalous that somebody's transgender. Both of my children are in the LGBT QIA community, and let's just put it this way: if Lindsey has any thing like that, which would be, that he's gay, or maybe he identifies differently in some way, it's a shame that he would feel that he can't be honest to the world about that. Hopefully he is not doing anything with underage people in that community. That's my concern. This is the book The book usually talks about education, talks about things that are written or that are to some degree more there is record of. But I just got the word school. Could just be me thinking on the book. Oh, this is something here. The scythe. Okay, so this is something that is a warning card. Not for me, but it's saying that once you do something, this is such that you can't go back. Once you follow through with this action, you can't. I think you get the idea. Because once you've harvested, let's say, the wheat, you can't put the wheat back in the field. And it better be ready because, you'll have messed things up. As I said, when I don't use a particular spread, I read in pairs. I think this information this could be something where there's receipts, so to speak, or there's film, or there's proof, shall we say, that's undeniable. That he can't, this is something you can't walk back. This is something you can't walk back. There is proof. I don't know if this is nodding toward a school or anything like that. Maybe, again, the only thing I can think of is an underage people in the LGBTQIA community. I don't know. But it kind of, as I said, perhaps these are underage escorts. Ooh, it's the end. I get the coffin. I don't know if there was... Okay, I don't want to say that yet. And this is... Okay. And the fox means that there was some... I hate that they attribute this to the fox, by the way. But there was some sly, sneaky end. Something sly and sneaky that was done to bring an end. And I feel like it could be a death. And I feel like it's a death that has been obscured. There was an end. Perhaps someone he was with died. Let's say if they could overdose or they're partying and doing that, anything like that. I could see maybe something like that. But somebody goes too far. Somebody goes too far here. Let me just put this on. I've got the somebody out there with the garden